Golden soldiers lift much shoulder than there will ever be. Jump into a sea of hands in a long forgotten city. The original fire has died and gone. The riot inside moves on. The original fire has died long gone, but the riot inside moves on. The original fire has died and gone, but the riot inside moves on. Riot inside moves on. How's the jaw? I'm managing to swallow all kinds of things without chewing it. Chips and gravy, saucy pasta, mashed up pie, hand mixers bless, turned a chicken casserole into a smoothie pretty much. But going full litre of some kind of flavoured milk a day. I'm having about 2 or 3 litres of milk. My milk consumption is quadrupled. What do you say if it's times 10? I'm not sure if I'm going to the Cage Warriors in Glasgow yet. Should be banging though. Loads of good fighters on it. Bungard versus... I forgot the guy's name. But should be a good fight. Did I leave that Stairmaster on? Who knows? Beautiful lady. But how is everyone? Planning on going straight back into camp after it heals, or are you thinking of waiting a bit? See, they say no contact for 6 weeks. I'm not going to dive straight in. I'm going to give a little grace period just to make sure there's no re-injury, because that will be the most stupidest thing ever, to nearly be fully recovered and then just decide, oh yeah, let's fucking spar, and then ping it off again. So I'm going to take it sensible. Obviously I'll be updated by the doctors as it goes on, as I have appointments. But I'm not going to rush straight back into just having rounds. You know, I'm keeping really, really fit, so I could probably do like a 5 or 6 week camp. Do you think Harry will fight Luke Riley after he wins the belt? I have no idea what's going to happen. We just got to focus on big mushing. Vanilla milk. I can't find this vanilla milk. I only find vanilla milk in plant flavours in Little Tesco. Bungard wins his next fight. Would you want a rematch or a new opponent? A new opponent would be cooler, but then he would have earned it as well. Training with Madas today? Sick. He's fighting KSW again. I can't remember what date, but good luck. Strawberry milk clear. Oh no, strawberry milk, no. Strawberries are brilliant. Artificial strawberry flavours are awful. That's why I've got all these Ensures that they've given me from some fucking pharmacy. I'm like, why half of them strawberry? Damn. In Paris? KSW's in Paris? I didn't even know they went there. You reckon you'll get another UFC shot if you win your next couple? Possibly. There was guys in last season of Contender Series who... He lost in a Contender Series, and then he didn't fight again for like 2 years, and then his next fight was on a Contender Series. It's a bit weird. Yeah, no. So hard he lost his UFC debut. He was looking really sharp. That second round was on fire. But then he got clubbed. That's the thing about jumping around a lot, is that you'll probably get hit less, but when you take the hit, it's a big hit. Opinion on Adam Cullen's loss. That was a brilliant fight. There was so much good grappling stuff. Yeah, that's an annoying spot on the back of my head. There was so much good grappling stuff, and if you like half guard, that's a fight to watch for you. MMA Banana Milk and had to join. What a title. I've just started it. Let's go for the full litre. Chocolate milk, I would say. Oh, fucking hell. Bubbles and shit. I'm going to do that again. That was quite fun. Next Generation Gym, brilliant gym. I like a lot of the way they drill. They have these pro sessions, have some brilliant... Eddie Abbey would be fuming with me. His mystery age and gropiness. I can't get this bubble to blow again. Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to clean that up. Whatever. You're my second favourite MMA fighter. Your first favourite better be Jim Miller. Did you ever get offered Paul Hughes? No. Paul Hughes called me out to fight. He wanted to fight for my belt with me taking it on 2 weeks' notice. And then when he got the opportunity to fight me, 30th of March, when I kept messaging the matchmaker, what's this Paul Hughes situation? He just said it's complicated. So I was asking about him for a fair fight with ample training time, but he just seems to want to fight either this random Udwali guy or late notice guy. I'm going to get some, watching me, Bobs. I'm going to get some blue roll. A fucking spat banana milk on the Stairmaster. 1 second. I haven't watched the new Roadhouse movie yet. I need to get onto the Prime and give it a look in. I wasn't even bothered about it until I saw the sandwiches scene. Curtis Campbell, Pink Panther, really sick. Big respect to anyone who's got the Chisoku kick to get a finish in a fight. When do you think you'll be back? Possibly late July, August? Depends on recovery. You know, it's not about the fastest recovery, it's about the right recovery. Purple Aki versus Eddie Abu at WrestleMania. Purple Aki absolutely wipes the floor with Eddie Abu. There is no one. I don't know what one does actually. I don't know what Purple Aki's shtick is, but whatever it is, it possibly may be a lot better than standing around in supermarkets shouting about certain ingredients and getting science wrong. Who do you want to fight next in Cage Warriors? I mean, I'd still like to fight Clay. It's always disappointing when you get matched to fight someone and then you can't fight them for whatever reasons. You train at Aki kickboxing? Purple Aki really missed out on not training MMA growing up. I don't actually know his stick, you know. Yeah, what brand banana milk are we sampling today? Sainsbury's fan. This is Tesco. Closest banana milk supplier to here. There's a Tesco. But it's £1.15 rather than the measly pound, or the humble pound, at a big Tesco, because it's a little Tesco. And they have to pay more for it being smaller and them being open at different times. Eddie cries over Tesco pancakes and makes money for it. You know, really, the people who consume that content, be ashamed with yourself. This is just a stupid thing. Anyone can go at any ingredient, any foodstuff that exists in the world and be like, oh, this is banana milk. Banana contains potassium. The lethal dosage of potassium is this, that, and the other. It'll kill you. So potassium's bad. It's just people who don't understand dosages or randomized control trials. Do you think you should still train even if you're sick or ill? It depends on the sickness or illness. Don't do any contact training if it's a transmissible virus. That would be selfish and stupid. Don't do that. But light training, yeah, it's very doable. Cosine Overhand Interactive. They are making a Muay Thai and kickboxing game. Brilliant. There's not enough Muay Thai and kickboxing games. Because people play the EAA, MMA, UFC game, whatever, and then the grappling's awful, so they're just kickboxing it. Why not just skip out the middleman and do a kickboxing game? King of the Street, bare knuckle MMA underground thing. People will think it's a laugh until someone dies because they've had some underlying brain hemorrhage or something nonsense or what have you. And then a lot of people are going to be in a lot of shit. Coughing and blocked nose. Head killing. Yeah, I would say no contact training. It's transmissible. You're just going to give it to a load of other people. I would say just whatever light training you could do that's not contact. How do you see Mike Perry's career going forward? He's going to fucking he's going to bang out everyone he fights bare knuckle. He is the bare knuckle man. Well, thanks for whatever this symbol is. MFA monthly is £50 for a single month. And that covers all classes appropriate to your age, skill level, what have you. All 6 days. There's no training on Sunday, but all 6 days. All classes, plus you get to use the gym. If your class is finished and the gym's open, you get to use the gym for getting a pump or hitting a bag or whatever. Opinion on MMA Guru. Thanks for these roses or whatever. MMA Guru's sound, man. I like MMA Guru. I was watching a lot of his content in the hospital. I did a Petr Yan breakdown that's like 18 minutes on YouTube recently, and he put a little comment away. Both spaffing over the Yan, because we love to see Yan in the win column. Can an under 16 go to the Wednesday class? If we give you permission, allow you, yeah. Like, if you're an under 16 who's a good size, whoa, what are these boxing? But that's right in my penis, bro. Yeah, if you're an under 16 who's like 14, 15 and you're a good size, yeah, and you've been coming a bit, like if you're a first time under 16, we won't let you just jump into the Wednesday class because it's mixed. But if you've been coming a bit, yeah. Have you heard of Lockdown MMA Gym? Is that the one with Glenn? Madas? I'm pretty sure. Did I ever finish in my career? The one where I won the belt. I can't do banana milk, it's so gross. Oh man, banana milk. I wish they did peanut butter milk. I wish that was more common. Glenn's sick. Yeah, I've sparred with Glenn. His front headlock, man. And his chin strap. So tight. Really good war. What are your fight plans for the foreseeable future? Recover the jaw. Get bulk when I'm doing it. And then just get back into a much smarter, better laid out training camp where I'm not risking such injuries. And fucking get back in there. Depending on the timing, whether that's just more Cage Warriors fight or rallying for trying to get on a contender series again. Who knows? Allah decides. Favourite UFC commentator? I like John Wooden, but he says some bizarre stuff. I'm trying to think of MMA commentators I generally like. Brad Wharton. I like Dan Strauss. Dan Strauss, yeah, he's probably my favourite MMA commentator. Have you been to Sweatbox in Bristol? I've never been to Bristol. UFC number card in England? It's a numbered card? Whoa. I heard there was a card, but I didn't know it was a numbered card. Who's Leon Edwards scrapping? If he is scrapping. Hey, Charles. Maybe laid it on a bit thick there. Should I bulk if I'm 6'1", 155 pounds? Do you want to bulk? You'll probably really enjoy it. Just make sure you track what you're eating when you bulk. And then, obviously you get all your lifts in, but get a good mix of the stuff that's like low intensity, but it's still muscle building, like farmers walks and crawls, that you can just rack up the volume with. Obviously all your big lifts. Try and stick to a lot more volume with good form, stuff that's not going to just fucking knack your joints. You know, some people just get obsessed with adding more weight on the bar, but then have rubbish technique, and then they can't keep training too hard because it causes themselves pain. Pain inhibits muscle, muscle activity, and they kind of ruin the gains. Anyone can start training at MFA, as long as you're not a whopper. Yeah, I like MMA Guru, I just said. Any advice on getting through tough days mentally and physically drained? Just appreciate that those days will mean you can have the good days. Oh yeah, Tom Aspinall. I wonder who will be fighting. Probably not John Jones, because John Jones wants to fight a retired old Stipe. This banana milk's a good shit, man. Decline these fucking inmates. Can under 16 use the gym after class? Yes. But not for random nonsense sparring. It has to be techniques. Or, unless you've proven that you've got your own capabilities of controlling your own body weight through good amounts of push-ups, squats, pull-ups, whatever, it's all just body weight. You can use pads, but no Tyler Durden and just having a big spar. Pereira Hill? I haven't studied. I've seen Jamal Hill fights, but I haven't studied enough of him. He did look all good in the Glover, but it's a very different thing. I have a Hill feeling, but then I'm probably going to get disappointed. Did you see what happened to Chad Collins? I saw he got finished, but I haven't seen the full fight because I don't have a BEMA and the million VPNs you need. Have a charity MMA fight in 3 weeks, and my conditioning isn't good. Any advice to help train? So if it isn't good already, you can either just try to hammer it and just get mentally tough and just get mentally used to being horribly fatigued because, for 2 weeks. Because you're not going to be able to build that base aerobic platform. We'll get to the Paul Hughes thing. That base aerobic platform, to set you up to have that conditioning in the fight. Just make sure you're comfortable with actually being horrendously tired, or just try and fight differently. Just try and fight looking for the one shot. But yeah, Paul Hughes, very funny situation. Calls me out on I just fought in Contender Series, and then he's called me out on 2 weeks' notice to fight for my belt after he hadn't done anything for a year. That's not how it works. Champions don't defend their belt on 2 weeks' notice. And then when he won against a late notice Hagens, he, what have you, he was the number one contender. Didn't accept the title fight. Wants to fight Uduwali. Who you got winning, Charles Oliveira or Arman Sarukian? Let's go Oliveira. But whenever I predict Oliveira is going to win, you've got to be aware that he loses. And whenever I predict someone's going to beat Oliveira, they lose. So put your money on Sarukian. Ever planning on fighting for the Cage Warriors welterweight title? Yeah, what's the situation with that? It's vacant. Giadis went to the Ultimate Fighter, I believe. What judo takedown have relevance in MMA? I know Uchimata and hip throw. Uchimata's a really good one, but Uchimata, especially in MMA, tops off sweaty. It's generally not just a one and done thing. Islam Makhachev uses that Keiken, I don't know the name, the Japanese weeb name. He bounces on one leg and hip tosses people really well. That's probably the best example I can think of a judo throw in MMA. But loads of Fedor stuff. Leaving the gym near your work all the time. Where do you work? Do you work at Lucky's? Are you the legend? You haven't heard anything from UFC since? No. I'm not sure what you're doing in the under-16s class, because I can't demonstrate anything. So ask Harry what you want to work on when you get in. Opinion on Strickland? I really like Strickland. I really like his lead hand. And he has awkward defenses that are developed not really from good technical drilling, but just from having been in so many hard gym fights. Which, look, it's kind of like Daniel Cormier defense a lot of the time, where his hands are sticking out and doing all this stuff. And it looks completely wrong, but there's fights where he defends most, if not everything. Are you stopping sparring? I'm probably going to do the once a week spar and do more drills. I only spar in the short run to fights. I'm not going to spar out of camp anymore, I don't think, unless it's like a proper jovial Muay Thai spar with lots of noises. You know Joe? Cotton Eye Joe? No idea. Who has better judo takedowns, Makhachev or Khabib? I would probably say Makhachev. When did I start MMA? Just before I turned 16. When's the right age to start MMA fights? Fights, it depends. Fights, it's kind of weird because it's a completely different rule set under 16 with no head strikes and stuff. It's kind of a grappling match with leg kicks. So I would say you can get other combat sports experience before you turn 16, and then once the rule set turns proper with ground and pound and stuff, just get MMA fights. But all experience is good experience. Ugh. What should an under 16 prioritize? Weightlifting, calisthenics, or bath? Well, you should get a bath, dirty bastard. Make sure you're clean. But other than that, focus on calisthenics first. Don't fuck around with weights. If you can't do 5, 10 push-ups, you can't do 20 push-ups, 25 push-ups, what is the point in you doing a bench press? And plus, the push-up's going to give you the serratus anterior and everything else. Those closed chain movements probably have a little bit more carry over into martial arts stuff. That's why you're asking. Stick to calisthenics and then once your squat form's really good, start adding weights from squats, deadlifts, but don't just jump onto the bars. Make sure you do that calisthenics first. Gaethje Holloway, I've got a good feeling about Holloway. Ever since watching that MMA Guru video where he said that Holloway had no time to become a proper lightweight, and he did really good in the Poirier fight. People forget he took the biggest shots, but he did really well. He won 2 rounds. I may end up at Renegade again. Joby Clayton's a fantastic coach. Did you practice body shots or are you lucky with them? No, I didn't practice body shots and then I just spam them in fights loads. Gotta practice body shots. Worst injury you could have gotten other than the jaw break? Well, the worst injury is like a really bad brain injury or a spine injury. How do I learn the oil check? I've been reading BJJ and a lot of people talk about it. You don't learn the oil check, you just gotta feel it inside of you. And then you feel it inside someone else. Dream finish, it's just winning a fight without taking a shot. What do you think of Zercher deadlifts or normal deadlifts? Zercher deadlifts, for a lot of people, that's a kind of big injury risk. Probably just doing it lighter is a Zercher deadlift. Zercher squats, obviously, you load them up. I would just say if you could choose between normal deadlifts or Zercher deadlift, just do normal deadlifts. For MMA purposes, Zercher squats might give you more than regular back squats. Do you agree that the apex sucks? Barboza Murphy getting chucked there when 301 is so close. There's generally a good amount. Apex cards tend to have better prelims, I find. And the thing that's cool about the Apex is that the screen's there and it kind of has this infinite mirror effect, like Devil's Stage from Tekken 2. How do you see Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier going? That's a potential matchup. I see Islam Makhachev landing a lot of leg kicks. I see Poirier throwing combinations and Makhachev having weird defense, but managing to get on a single leg. Poirier does some stupid ghillie jump and then doesn't have a chance to get back to his feet because Makhachev will murder him on the ground. Who knows? Tips on fighting as a taller guy against aggressive opponents. Real hard for me. Get a really good clinch because they want to get inside, but if you can tie them up and manipulate their head, especially MMA, especially Muay Thai, if you can manipulate their head and punish them for actually getting inside and what they want to do, boom, job's a good one. Also learn how to frame. You don't have to throw every strike and bring every strike back to your face. Sometimes throw that strike and then just manipulate them with the frame. Alexis Arguello style. Uppercuts, of course. I'm enjoying my banana milk. I've probably got like 300 millilitres left. A full banana milk is 590 calories and 35 grams of protein. It's going to fuel my step mastering tonight. What are your goals for MMA? Honest expression of the physical body and be good to the people who come to MFA. Only 2 goals. Any of your opponents ever scared of you? I never read into whether they're scared of me or not. One guy, when I fought the guy who entered to right said Fred, he really wanted to look at the ground and he fought a bit scared. But since I beat him, he's been on a tear. But Hendon's going to beat him. What do you think about soft style martial arts, types of kung fu? Here's a revelation for you. Here's my suggestion to like 90% of people, well not 90, like 50% of the people who do martial arts and do it with contact and sparring and randuri. You may not realise this, but 50% of people out there would much prefer and would be much happier if they did half of their training as bodybuilding and having chocolate milk and being bulk and hench and enjoying looking at themselves in the mirror, and then half of their training as nonsense martial arts where they don't have to get punched in the head, like the nonsense karates and the nonsense kung fus, where they can just do cool movements and feel like movie stars without getting injuries and concussions and skin infections and all this, that and the other. It's like the other 50% of us that for some reason continue to do it against all logic. We'll do the contact stuff, but 50% would just way prefer to do shit they've seen on the raid and bodybuild and get hench. So many people I can tell would just be way happier if they did that. Banana milk is god tier. Needs a big scoop of peanut butter in it though. Yeah. Favourite opponent you fought, personality? Chris Bungard sound, yeah. Chris Bungard, I really like the fella. Do you game plan body shots or just let it happen by slipping shots? So you have a number of setups, but... milkshake. Thanks for all of it. But you have a number of setups, but the thing about body shots is if you plan too much of them, you're lowering your guard. Like I was hunting for it against Salwadi and then I got punished. It was really obvious with it. It's kind of just got to happen. Whoa, a lot of roses. Thank you, Mr. Milkshake. Double roses. He's probably just seen that the stream has banana milk involved and he's spaffing his wad. Most interesting old school UK MMA fight as well. Michael Bisping's as old school as it gets, really. And fought all the way to the title. Wow, that's a lot of roses. Thank you very much. I'm probably going to be able to buy a full banana milk. Tips for applying pressure and pace and stop floating around too much in AMI fights. Now it's tricky in amateur fights because it's a much shorter round timing. If you had the full 5 minutes, you've got like 2 or 3 minutes you can settle into the fight. If it's amateur fight, it's a bit shorter. So you've kind of got to mix things up in that shorter time. And the other thing is you've got to probably set your base and kick more, have some solid feints, and then hit some heavy kicks in. Because it's going to be tricky to get the timing to just throw hands immediately, even if you've got a good amateur boxing background. So I would say mix it up, use clinch, use kicks, and then kick feints. Use the knee feint to get inside, like not fully inside, and then you can work a bit more pressure into it. Did you know Bungard before you fought him? Were you a fan of him? Yeah, I knew Bungard back from, not like super personally, but I knew him back in the Bama days. I have never trained, but if I see red, I could beat Portan. See, that's the problem. If you see red, you're never going to beat Portan. You have to see indigo or teal or chartreuse. Do you think Makhachev has underrated striking? I think if you're an MMA fan and you watch Makhachev striking and you think it's not very good, you're a fucking idiot. Makhachev has really good, tidy striking. How many times has he been hit clean? He's just kind of that low volume southpaw meta. Favourite submission, the taco plata. Palmo or pizza, mate? Palmo. But at the minute, I'm fucking on pasta. I'm on that Micah Musumeci pasta train. Do you train at Newcastle Fight Centre often? My current gym I train at. I train there at least once a week. Well, I can't train there at the minute, contact-wise, but I still go to the session and watch the techniques that Peter Irvin is teaching and Richie Stone are teaching. Two legends. Charles versus Arman, quick pick. I'm picking Charles. Every time I pick Charles, he loses. Every time I pick against Charles, Charles wins. So, bet on Arman. Palmo is goated. I still need to blend it. Opinion on DDP? Superhuman cardio. Because he was swanging out with all EA MMA Tekken 3 techniques for a full fight at middleweight. I was sure he was going to gas, and he just didn't. Maybe it shows that the level of fighter, the level of athlete in MMA is so low that all these people just come from rugby and smash everyone. Maybe like mid-tier rugby guys so far ahead of good MMA guys athletically. Now it's banana milk today. You had chocolate milk yesterday. Get with it. Who has a better striking out of Khabib and Islam? Islam, I would say. But they're both really effective in what they do. Islam times his striking, times his takedowns really well off of people overextending because he holds his range, he jabs, he hits them with the kick, they extend, and he has beautiful timing on his double leg. Khabib would pressure, and what he'd do, he'd throw a lot of techniques that, in isolation, look not the cleanest, like these scissor knees, swinging up the front kick. But Oh, and this weird left uppercut that he still caught people with. It looked weird, but it got people to stand straight up, and then you shoot in. Chris Weidman would do that. You'd see someone standing low, like in the Munoz fight, start blasting up a few head kicks, even though his head kicks weren't like Tawan Chai. But then suddenly, oh shit, no one wants to stand there all low. They stand up and he shoots. Best way to improve cardio? I don't know. Booking. What do you think of Sean O'Malley? Sean O'Malley, very, very good striker, very technical striker. You always learn something from O'Malley fights. And I think the way his stance switching is so sharp and so alive, it's really good. He'll switch, and he won't switch dead onto a leg. He'll switch, leg bent, heel up, and he's ready to go. Thanks for these various symbols, whatever they are. Oh, spaff in the roses. I think this guy's just excited that Milk is in the title. Jai Herbert, I love Jai Herbert. Everyone should study Jai Herbert's 1-2. Everyone should study Jai Herbert's feinting. I remember, wow, spaff in the roses. I think when I made my amateur MMA debut when I was 16, a lot of the card was rubbish. And then it got to the top of the card, Jai Herbert was fighting someone from AVT, and it was ninja stuff. It was brilliant. Unbelievable stuff. Always been a big fan of Jai Herbert. Always buzzing when he wins. Used to train with Lee Remedios, UK MMA legend. Tesco Banana Milk on top. Where is the best brands of banana milk? I had my first Five Guys milkshake. That was a fun, interesting thing to have. I had the peanut butter milkshake with cream. Just under 1,000 calories. You know Chris Bungard, been training with his team for hopefully my first pro fight this year. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, you'll be training with Jordan Strong. It's a good team. Yeah, I know Chris Bungard fairly well. He's a sound guy. Asda banana milk is awful. See, I quite like Asda, but I've not sampled their milk. How tall are you? 5'11", possibly. I've never heard of Peyton Labbott. Do you think if Ilya fought O'Malley, he'd be able to get in the pocket and KO him? Yes, probably. I think he would. Yeah, and this is a bit of a stupid situation where O'Malley's calling out Topuria. Topuria's calling out Makachev. Makachev is calling out Leon Edwards. And Leon Edwards is just defending his belt because he's sound. Why does no one defend the belt anymore? In divisions that are the three most stacked divisions in the sport's history, it makes no sense. Defend. Or vacate, motherfucker. Or banana milk. Parmo pizza? Parmo. But right now I'm on the pasta because I can actually swallow it. Didn't IMAF go through a load of shit? I thought IMAF spaffed the pony or something. It's fucking cold in here. But I don't want to wear my hoodie on screen because I spilt corned beef and gravy on it. Leon did want the Drickus Strickland winner too for a while. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everyone wants to jump up in a division because it's probably like, well, if I lose, I'm still the champion, and I'm doing the valiant thing. I just want to see defenses because every division is stacked. Apart from light heavyweight. How do you see Leon and Islam going? And do you think Islam would do okay on the feet and ground? I think he would do okay. Let's go split decision, Leon. Whoa, spaffing roses again because Mr. Milkshake likes milk. Would you defend against Bungard if he wins in April? It's a possibility. I was considering going and training with Bungard for the last opponent. He would have been a really good training partner. But shit happened. Opinion on diet sodas. I'm just not a fan of sodas in general. But artificial sweeteners ain't an issue. The issue is people being unaccountable and not tracking calories and doing shit training. Scared of Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes did nothing for a year. He sat out and refused to fight anyone who wasn't taking the fight in late notice. When he got the chance to fight me in March, he said no. So they got this American. And now he's fighting Udu Wali, who has like 300 Instagram followers and is PFL bound according to his Instagram bio.
Hey, Josh?
Alright. I'm going to clean up the gym. I'll finish the rest of this banana milk. Where's the fucking button?
Hope I didn't ruin your TikTok.
Nah, I was just spaffing live.